For thousands of years, civilizations have looked to the skies in search of answers about our origins, our creators, and our place in the cosmos. Some found comfort in gods of thunder and sea. Others, however, described beings who descended from the heavens, not in dreams or visions, but in flesh and form. These were the Anunnaki. Their name echoes through the clay tablets of Sumer, the first known civilization, as deities of immense power and intention. But were they truly gods? Or were they, as some theorists propose, ancient extraterrestrial visitors from a faraway star? Perhaps Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky? In this in-depth documentary, we journey from ancient Mesopotamian ziggurats to the remote villages of the Dogon people of Mali. We'll trace connections across continents and millennia to explore whether the Anunnaki were the real ancient aliens, and if their story is far from over. The Anunnaki are first mentioned in the earliest written language known to man, Sumerian cuneiform. Dating back to 2100 BCE, these texts describe the Anunnaki as divine beings who came from the heavens to establish order on earth. The term Anunnaki translates to those who came from the heavens to earth. In the Sumerian pantheon, the Anunnaki are descended from An, or Anu, the god of the sky, and Ki, the goddess of the earth. These beings were not abstract. They had personalities, familial ties, tasks, and rivalries. Some of the most prominent Anunnaki include Enki, the god of water and creation, Enlil, the god of air and command, and Inanna, the goddess of love and war. Texts like the Enuma Elish and Atrahasis describe how these beings interacted with humanity, sometimes aiding, sometimes punishing. They are credited with creating civilization itself, bestowing knowledge and law, and even genetically modifying early humans to serve as laborers. Mainstream scholars interpret these myths as metaphorical. But could they describe actual events, distorted through time? The 20th century saw a surge in interest in ancient aliens, largely due to the works of Zecharia Sitchin. In his controversial book, The 12th Planet, Sitchin proposed that the Anunnaki were not deities, but astronauts from a mysterious planet called Nibiru. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki came to Earth to mine gold, a precious metal used in their homeworld's atmosphere. They created Homo sapiens by genetically engineering early hominids, combining their own DNA with that of Earth's primitives. Critics argue that Sitchin's translations of Sumerian are flawed and not supported by academic linguists. Yet, his theory has gained a massive following and has become a cornerstone of the ancient astronaut hypothesis. Regardless of the linguistic debates, the question persists: why would an ancient culture fabricate such detailed accounts of beings descending from the skies? The Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, have long held an uncanny knowledge of the Sirius star system. They describe Sirius as having a companion star, what modern astronomers call Sirius B, a white dwarf invisible to the naked eye. Dogon oral tradition, recorded in the 1930s by French anthropologists Marcel Grial and Germain Dieterlen, states that beings called the Namo came from Sirius. These amphibious entities descended in a spinning arc and imparted astronomical knowledge to the Dogon, including orbital patterns and star masses. Sirius B wasn't even discovered by Western science until 1862, and its properties weren't fully confirmed until the 1970s. So how did the Dogon know? Skeptics suggest cultural contamination. Perhaps the knowledge came from European missionaries. But this does little to explain the depth and precision of Dogon astronomy. The Namo of the Dogon and the Anunnaki of the Sumerians share several striking characteristics. Both are said to have come from the heavens. Both brought wisdom, science, and social order. Both are described as physical beings who interacted directly with humans. Both are linked to water. The Namo are aquatic, and Enki, a chief Anunnaki, is the god of fresh water. Some researchers theorize that these myths describe the same beings viewed through different cultural lenses. Others suggest they were part of a galactic federation, with Sirius as one of its central hubs. Could the Namo and the Anunnaki be different names for the same ancient extraterrestrials? Sirius was important not just to the Dogon. In ancient Egypt, Sirius, called Sopdet, was associated with the goddess Isis. Its heliacal rising marked the start of the Nile flood and the Egyptian New Year. The Greeks called it the scorcher or dog star, associating it with heat and divine fire. The Mayans tracked Sirius in their complex calendar systems. Even the Vedic traditions of India mention a divine figure named Tisha associated with Sirius. These cultures were separated by oceans and centuries, yet all saw Sirius not merely as a star, but as a portal, a source of divine or cosmic influence. Why this global fixation on one specific star system? The Sumerian creation myth describes the Anunnaki creating mankind to serve them by mining and farming. In the myth of Enki and Ninmah, clay is mixed with divine essence to form humans. This echoes modern genetic engineering. Today, with tools like CRISPR, we can splice genes with surgical precision. Is it possible that what we now see as cutting-edge science was practiced by ancient beings? The myths even describe early prototypes that failed, deformed, infertile, or insane, until a viable human was made. Such descriptions are eerily similar to lab experimentation. Was humanity the result of a controlled experiment? Across the ancient world, sacred structures were built not just as tombs or temples, but as celestial markers. The Great Pyramids of Giza, one of the most studied architectural wonders, show intriguing alignments with Orion and possibly Sirius. But even more mysterious is Nabta Playa, a Neolithic stone circle in the Nubian desert, predating Stonehenge. Astronomers believe this prehistoric calendar was built to track the heliacal rising of Sirius, an event that signaled the Nile's flooding and the start of a new year. Could this signify a widespread ancient awareness of Sirius? And if so, who or what shared that knowledge? In the 20th and 21st centuries, Sirius has continued to appear in UFO and extraterrestrial narratives. Channelers and abductees often report beings from Sirius, usually described as benevolent, aquatic, or light-bodied. The Ashta Command, a group of supposed galactic protectors, is said to include Sirius beings. In the 1970s, some contactees claimed to receive messages from a Sirius High Council. While these accounts are unverifiable, they show that Sirius remains central in cosmic consciousness. Many ancient myths describe a time when the gods will return. The Hopis speak of the Pahana, a lost white brother from the stars. The Sumerians mention that the Anunnaki departed but may come again. Modern disclosure efforts, such as the U.S. government's 2020 release of UAP footage, have rekindled interest. Are we being prepared for contact or recontact? If the Anunnaki or their descendants are still watching, what is their purpose now? The Anunnaki and the Sirius connection bring together threads from myth, archaeology, astronomy, and modern science fiction. While definitive proof remains elusive, the patterns are undeniable. What if the myths are history distorted by time? What if humanity's story began not in a garden, but in a genetic lab under alien skies? Perhaps we are not alone. Perhaps we never were. And maybe the stars we look up to are not just suns, but beacons calling us home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy discovering the hidden stories of our ancient past and the mysteries of the stars, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to discover, and this is just the beginning. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. See you next time.